As the hours passed, on March 26, 1976, the horror of the Vail gondola accident slowly came into focus. 50 years later, the three remaining survivors remain deeply affected by that tragedy.
They agreed to tell this story for the first time to investigative reporter Kevin Vaughn and photojournalist Tom Cole. Tonight, part 2 of After the Fall.
The moments after a gondola car crashed into Vail Mountain at 61 miles an hour are a jumble of fuzzy memories for Jack Manley and Skip Conieris.
I knew I had broken bones. Don't move.
The next thing I remember is waking up on the ground, laying in the snow.
I think somebody stepped on my broken leg. And there I just, I passed out.
A woman was there and I was holding her hand. I asked her, how are my friends?
The 6 people in car 25 may as well have been in a high-speed auto crash. Jack Manley's back was fractured, but that wasn't all.
My leg was obviously broken, but I also crushed all the joints in my ankle.
Skip Conieris, a collapsed lung, and more.
I broke my jaw, and so something must have hit me in the head, and I actually wonder if I didn't have a concussion.
A doctor concluded Greg Dietrich suffered a broken collarbone and fractured 2 ribs.
The bruising on this side of my body, it was from my neck through my shoulder and down into my ribs here, and then a lot of bruising on this side.
Steve Mioli, a broken back and internal injuries. Arnold Kortz, 2 broken legs and a broken back. Ira Potashner, a collapsed lung. But that's not the end of the story. At that moment, as the passengers of car 25 struggled to comprehend what had just happened, the disaster unfolding 125 feet above them quickly got worse. Car 60 crashed into another gondola hung up on Tower 5. Inside were South Dakotans Darlene Reese and her husband Gene, as well as Gene's sister, Aline Anderson of Boulder, and 3 teenagers, Janice Pasterkamp and her sister Carol, both from Inglewood, and Carol's roommate at Calvin College, Karen Tochtman. Car 60 jumped off the cable, turning upside down as it hurtled toward the ground. The impact drove the carriage through the roof. Janice Pasterkamp, 14, Karen Tochtman, 19, and Darlene Reese, 42, all died. A reality that 50 years hasn't dulled.
You know, what can you say? It's heartbreaking.
The rest of that terrible day was spent rescuing those trapped in the remaining cars.
Skiers, members of Vail Ski Patrol, doctors and nurses all rushed to help, moving the injured to Vail Valley Medical Center.
They had the whole lobby set up like a triage type unit.
On gurneys, Dietrich and Manley flanked Mioli.
Things were pretty blurry.
I think we all must have been on morphine or whatever they give you in an accident like that.
I do remember talking to Steve Mioli.
And I remember Steve and I were kind of joking, about the fall.
He said, Steve, are you okay? He said, not really.
As Flight for Life helicopters shuttled the injured to St. Anthony Hospital in Denver, Ski Patrol members went car by car, lowering 176 stranded passengers to the ground, one by one.
How long were you up there?
Since 9:15 this morning.
Passengers unaware of the tragedy that had unfolded beneath Tower 5.
What did you do for 6 hours?
Laughed, talked, talked about other things, speculated maybe a little bit on what was actually going on.
As evening neared, 31 empty gondola cars hung on the line. Only Dietrich, nursing rib and chest injuries, remained in Vail, desperate to talk to his parents, unable to reach them on an overwhelmed phone system.
I'll get it. I wanted to hear my mom's voice. At some point that night, the phone in my room rang, and I picked it up, and it was my mother on the phone. She started crying. I'm going, Mom, I'm okay, we're all okay. Because I thought we were all okay.
As bad as this accident was, it easily could have been much worse. Another yellow car, number 67, was kept aloft by a single strip of steel about 2 inches wide and 1/8 of an inch thick. A member of the ski patrol worked his way out to that car and fed a rope and a chain in through the windows and secured that to an overhead cable to keep it from falling. In the studio, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.